Hi guys, Rhonda without an H here with you. This is going to take a little bit to get this done, but I am beginning a process and I thought I would take you on my journey. I am currently looking for a new cover for my 2018 year to keep track of my journaling. If you remember, those of you who follow me, I did a video a while back to show you my current journal, and it's a mess, and it was like one of the first things that I did. Well, I want to do something different, but I do still want to keep it Midori style. I like the ability of taking, for instance, these were already, these were already taken out. When I want to write in one, and I keep the cover separated, but when I want to write or update, I love being able to take it out of my whole book and write flat on the surface. So I'm not trying to, it's just more awkward when you can't take it out of the book. So I'm in the process of making a new one, and I came across this little book. I don't remember what I paid for it, but knowing me, I didn't pay much at all. And it says it's Funk & Wagnall's Concise Standard Dictionary. And it's an amazing little book, and it's the perfect size. Look at that. Look at this, you guys. Oh, oh, oh. Yay! So what I have started to do, I mean, this was literally falling apart. Let me show you. It's off now, but it was separated, and the only thing holding it together was this inside flyleaf paper. And I have removed that, and I'm going to find a way to put some of this back in, I think. Or if not in this project, I will find it. I'm not throwing it away because it's beautiful, wonderful, and yum. And this is what the little spine ends up looking at. And this book, it will, this is 1.5 inches wide and 6.5 inches long. And so I am going to create a new spine, which I did just cutting a piece of cardboard, just something nice and sturdy. And then I took with my X-Acto knife, what I had done was to cut where the fabric and the paper were separating, just carefully cut it off. So then I have this left. So I know is this just cool? I don't know. I might have to just do something. Look at this, you guys. Oh, this is fabulous. These papers are just like, they're not so old that it's brittle, but they've got that wonderful aged look and feel, and the pages are just, they're kind of silky. I love it. Obviously, this will be used in another project. So this is what I was left with. I tried very carefully, not successfully 100%, but I may go ahead and put this back down. And then, of course, because you can embellish and whatnot to where you won't notice this. So Anyway, this is the first step. I've taken them apart. I've trimmed that. You can see the cover. It has seen its better day. And these corners are a little bit soft. So I think I'm going to support those with putting some glue and let it stiffen the corners. And then I will add, and here on the front cover too, you can see it's rather floppy and floppy. And I will do the same here, and then I will put professional corners on those so that it won't continue to do that, and it'll hold up. So I hope you will enjoy this journey with me as I create a new Midori Style notebook for the year 2018. All right, I guess that's it for now till I get a little further along, and then I'll show you what I have been doing. All right, thanks guys. Have a fabulous day. Bye now. All right, so here I am back again. I have decided that for my cover, I am going to use some of my paper fabric. And so what I'm doing, just to show you an idea of how I'm doing this, and you know guys, I'm really kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, so bear with me. So I am kind of giving myself a little bit of measurement here by, see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of laying it out, measuring what it will be, 12 inches, and I'm going to go 12.5 inches just to make sure I've got plenty to fold over on my flap. So, let me do that. I know, I'm weird. I have all these quilting rulers, and I use rotary cutters and mat boards and all that good stuff. But that's what happens when you, let's see, is this even in frame? All right, but look at that, guys. Look at that. Perfect. Yay. Now that's left over, and so that'll be used again, obviously, in another project. So now we just need to cut this other side, or maybe we don't. Maybe I'll just, let me turn this sucker over. Let me position. All right. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and trim this. I apologize. I am kind of a mess here. But I'm going to go ahead and just trim this up just a little bit. I want to keep it straight. All right, and I will probably even use this. So now we have our outside cover. So then what you have to decide is which do I want to be my front and back. And I think this will be my front. Yeah. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue. Oh, and by the way, I did glue. I just put, when it gets really floppy, you know, some of those little papers that are all scrunched together to make that cardboard backing on the book that makes it kind of hard, you can kind of separate those. And I just put glue, just regular white glue, in several of them, then just kind of scrunched it up, you know, like so, to tighten it, you know, when it's dry. Then it's more solid again. It's hard again. Not as hard as when this comes originally, but when I add my fabrics and whatnot, and then I put the corners on, it will be really nice and solid. Okay, so I will be gluing this down. Gluing or stitching? I am a stitcher. And by the way, see what I'm doing here? To give myself a nice straight edge, and so that my book does not end up being, you know, one backing up to one another and then one going when you fold it over, and this will keep it nice and together. So that's what I use, is a straight edge to keep it. All right, so I'm not going to have you watch me glue this all. You want a nice, good, sturdy glue, and or you can stitch this. And I'm in the process of thinking about what I'm going to do that way, and then I will be back. Well, I have made a few changes. As you can see, this is not my fabric paper that I planned on covering this with. Instead, this is just a very fun piece of fabric that I picked up, cotton, 100% cotton quilting fabric to cover. And I'll tell you why. It's because I am using an actual book cover. The cardboard is rather thick. And so as I tried to put on my fabric paper, it also is, you know, thickish and somewhat stiff. It's bendable, but trying to bend it around these edges and around here on the spine, it was just not working. So I will use that for another project. Never fear, there's always somewhere to use some fabulous paper fabric. So this is what I did. I went ahead and the same process as what I was showing you, only with a piece of fabric, and I covered it. And then I added some scrapbook paper on the inside, and that's what this is just a fun piece of scrapbook paper. So I glued it with Yes glue. Yes glue. It's expensive, you guys, but it's really very durable, very good. Anyway, I'm sure there are other glues that would be amazing, but I used Yes glue to glue my fabric onto my cardboard, and I'm sorry that I didn't take a picture of that step. Let me see. Let's move this for a minute and let's do some pretend Are you guys good with pretend? Okay, here we go. So, pretend that this is my inside spine, my cardboard inside spine. This is my cover, and this is my cover. And I have lined it all up with, where is my straight edge? You know, I've put my, I don't know where my larger, oh, here it is. I do have a mess here. I'm sorry. I do have a mess. So I have lined it all up, my book, with the straight edge. I've placed this a little bit apart and a little bit apart to adjust for the fold of your book or journal when I'm done, taken from a book, made into a journal. So then what I did, and you can use different methods, but this is what I did. I have some Tyvek tape that I purchased some time ago, and it's kind of like gold. I use it on occasion, but not a lot because it is expensive. But I've also shown you in some of my other videos how you can add the Tyvek paper that I have stitched on. But this particular one, because the cardboard is thicker, I didn't know if my sewing machine would stitch through. So what I did was I took this nice strong Tyvek tape and placed it down. Oh, now look, I've got a mess. Oh, I hate to waste that. Well, we'll just set this to the side. We'll deal with this later. But you get the idea. I put it on both sides, and that's what gave me the sturdiness for putting the three together, which you can see my bends. They're just about right. So it bends up nicely. And what I did was I glued the outsides first, and then I glued up and then glued down, and made sure that I pressed it nicely as I'm gluing it, you know, so that it's not bubbly. And then I just measured my width and my length. I wanted to leave about 1/8 of an inch so that you could see the outside cover. I just think that looks really nice and trim, so that's what I did. And then I put some more Yes paste and glued the paper down and smoothed it out nicely. And one of the reasons why I used Yes paste is it won't bubble. It just is a really wonderful paste. But anyway, and then I added Tim Holtz corners. So that makes these very, very sturdy now. As I had told you before, you know, gluing these corners, adding some thickness there and some sturdiness. And then after I have added my fabric and put my corners on, this is sturdy. This is a great little cover now. Will I add some more things to kind of make this a little bit more unique, more mine? Probably. Yeah, probably. But that's what I've got so far that I wanted to show you. And I do apologize, you guys. I'm trying very hard to remember to let you see my process, but quite frankly, sometimes it takes me a really long time to do something, and I don't want to do that in a video because it will be so boring. Okay, but let me show you my first book that's going to go in that I have completed. This is a magnet. Magnet! Yay! Okay. And like I told you, I'm doing this Midori Style. And I'm also, when I'm putting my little booklets together, I am not stitching the cover of the booklets to the inside pages, because I want to be able to take these out and replace them with new pages, but I don't necessarily want to make a new cover for each little group of pages that I've done. This just makes it so amazing. Not only that, but when I want to take it out and write on it, I can take just this out, and I can go ahead and I can write to my, oh, listen, you guys. Yay! Woo! Crinkle, crinkle. This isn't glassine paper. This isn't deli paper, but it is coffee dyed paper. So it's actually graph paper that I've coffee dyed. And then also some regular notebook paper lined that I coffee dyed as well. I just wanted this one to be unique. Just speak me. All right, so let me just kind of tell you what I did. And in other videos, I'm not going to show you this process because I have in other videos shown you how I layer and build. And nothing is different on this. I started with a paper bag. I measured, I cut, and it gave me two sides. And so I started with the one bag, and it was fairly, lightweight, but then I started adding. I've added papers, I've added fabric, I've added lace, I've added handkerchief lace, more fabric, layer, dictionary page, lace, layer. This is seam binding, and this is silk ribbon that I've ironed down, and coffee dyed paper, advertisements, old stitching. I combined black and white on this one. I wanted some to show, but I didn't want it to scream at me, and I just was trying something different. So I've got white in my bobbin and black on the top thread. And this is more, I've used a lot of these in other projects, and these are just leftovers. And then when I was happy, before I tell you that, see this? This was, remember that ugly spine that I showed you from the book? Okay, that's this. I used almost all of the spine. Isn't that great? I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyway, just kind of embellished it how I liked. Then when I was done, I took that second piece of my paper bag and I glued it. I just used a glue stick for this part. I just glued it to the inside, and then I stitched all the way around so you don't see, and it gives it an extra sturdiness. So now this is a really nice, nice sturdy little cover, which will, and I added a magnet closure. On the magnet closure, this was I believe it's Crafty Irina that I watched her video on doing these closures, and I'll put a link to her so that you can go and see how she does hers. But I just picked up some little thin little washers so that you can have your little magnets that you buy, they can go a lot further. You only need one and a little metal washer, and that works great. So that's where we are so far, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish up my booklets, and then I'll show you after I get it all done. I know this video is going to be super long. I may have to divide it into two. We'll see. But before I did that, I just wanted to show you, I'm in the process now of punching my holes. You can see I've still got one more here and one more here, and threading this. You know, this may be its own separate video to do that. Let's go ahead. Now I know if I had a crocodile, this would be a whole lot easier. I've been told that, but I don't. And I don't know that I want to buy anything new at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and use what I have. And I have a punch that I've had for many, many years. And just clean out the channel there just a little bit because it's got all kinds of paper thicknesses and cardboard in there. Okay, so we'll just go ahead. I have measured, I have marked, and I will erase. I've just done that with a pencil, and as soon as I get done with this, I center it over. There you go. And one more. Like I said, if you have a crocodile, yay! Okay. All right. Now I have all my holes punched, and I will put in my little eyelets. Are these eyelets? I think so. Anyway, I've decided that for this one, I'm going to use green. So what you do is you take a little eyelet and you put it on the front side, what's going to be your front side, and you put it in the little hole that you have punched. Okay, can you see that? Oh, this is, I hope you can see this. If you can't, I'll have to redo the video. Okay, then I'm going to put it upside down, and let's see if you can, whoops, wrong way. Bring that in a little bit closer just for this process. Okay, now I'm going to use this tool to set it. I find the center, I find I'm in, and then see that? Very nice, very nice. And I'll do all of them the same way. And of course, if you have your crocodile, I'm sure there's an amazing way to do that. Each to their own. The important thing is just to get these taken care of so that you can string a stretchy thread through there, or string that won't pull apart. You know, it just protects your book so it'll last a long time. All right, that's going to be it. I will show you when it's all done, and we'll do a quick flip through. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.